And we are live. It is Saturday, August 4th, 2018, in the middle of the summer, getting ready for football season just around the corner. Hall of Fame night tonight. A lot of good players going in there. Brian Urlacher, Randy Moss, our man, the myth, the legend, Brian Dawkins here in Philadelphia going in. Terrell Owens going in, but not anywhere near Canton, Ohio. We'll have a good time today on the show, as always, here on the closing line here at sportsbookreview.com. Today, primarily a Major League Baseball day. Good slate out there. Got a doubleheader in the works. Hopefully we get some good weather conditions here in the Northeast. Been rainy in Philadelphia, as you saw last night. The one game I actually did like got rained out. So that was 2 straight days, folks, of action without any action. I had no plays Thursday or Friday, just sitting here like a lump on a log at this time. So we'll wait for the big man on campus to join us in just a few moments. He, of course, usually having his computer issues, so he should be joining us here in just a few moments. Welcome into the chat there, Justin, SBR, Ryan, Michael, Lloyd, Nick. Welcome into the show. Just going to wait on just a few minutes here. Also, I'm not in the chat box yet, but I can read the chats here. We'll see in just a few moments if I can pop in there and say hello. At least I'll come in as the SBR forum here. That's me right there. So everything underway here for us. Lucky, welcome into the chat box, my man. How about that? He's back in here. Matthew Varnum's in here. Skooma Steve's in here. We'll have a good Saturday afternoon action going down the tape. As usual, look, we had that one early game today, DeSclafani and Gio Gonzalez, which I was on last night and liked Washington. But typically, folks, for a doubleheader type day, I usually pull back the reins. You already saw some changes there to the lineups. Pitchers, Major League Baseball players, creature of habit. I'm going to start yesterday. Now I'm not. I'm going to start today. I was going to start at night, but now I'm starting at 1 o'clock. So we're completely off of that game. But I think there's some pretty good areas that we can find today and find some action and some money on there. BMOC, get in there, man. Yeah, he's headed in here pretty soon. Michael Coleman headed down to Phil's today. Let's get another win. There you go. Yeah. Hey, fighting Phil's last night, 5-1. We can't buy a base hit for primarily the majority of the game until some late inning heroics seem to take place. But it would be nice to have a offense that consisted of maybe more than Rhys Hoskins at this point. Comic Ricky, what's up? Alex, what's up? And Neil, what's going on? And thank you for the 44 people already chiming in within the first minute or two of the show to come in and say hello. Once again, folks, it is Saturday morning. I'm your host, Donnie Rightside, here on the closing line at SBRforum.com, at SBR Picks. Give us a follow. And, of course, we like to get the business out of it here, folks. No promoted sportsbook technically on the weekend, but you see the subscribe button down there. I remember just starting on this channel somewhere in the mid-20s, 25, 24, 26,000 people. Now, well over 40,000 people have subscribed to SBR Forum. And it's been great here on YouTube. So if you haven't done so yet, hit that button there. That's going to allow you to know every single time we go live here on the channels, you'll be able to chime in, come in the chat box, and say hello. Eric Griffo, yeah, Porcello killed it last night. How about that, man? Boston running away from the New York Yankees right now, it seems like. And up 4-1 game last night. Get some good pitching out there. Yankees in a little bit of team turmoil. You throw your ace out there. It's supposed to be your stopper. You can't come up with any W's there. We'll see what takes place today. We'll go over every single thing that happens. Looks like just saw the updated numbers. 405 start today in that game. 965, 966. That's Adams and Eovaldi. So good luck if you're New York with Adams on the mound tonight. And we'll see if Nathan Eovaldi can have another good start there with the Boston Red Sox. We'll have some fun. Let me see if I can get into this chat box here under my own name for once here. Let's see. Looks like it might let me in there. Let's see here. Get in here. Let me. Hello. No, looks like we're going to maybe stick with my official SBR forum numbers there. Maybe. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's try it again. Watch this. Hello. Boom. There we go. Got it. Amen. We're in. Let's go. Let's start the show up. Big man will join us in here in just a few moments here. Usually starting the computer, what? When you have a update on your system, maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes. So he should be able to join us here in just a few moments. Mookie got some time at second base. Yeah, should be interesting there. Comics, the best show on SBR. I agree, especially when it's just me here by myself. I would like to put a vote in there for myself. Maybe I can get some burner accounts in there and have a little bit of fun. But why don't we get started here? Let's go right down rotation number as we usually do. Pitching change here in the first game we're going to talk about, folks, here at Wrigley. 220 start, 951, 952. That is San Diego and the Chicago Cubs. Hendricks on the mound versus Lockett. The reason why Lockett's pitching today, Joey Lucchesi is not going to pitch today. Was scratched at the last, I believe, earlier this morning. So Hendricks going to get the start versus Lockett. Not much information on him, but if we take a look, 78% of the tickets here are on the Chicago Cubs in this one. And look at this, folks. I mean, it opened up at 175. That's primarily because Lucchesi was supposed to be the starter. Now we're seeing those numbers shift 255, 250, 247, depending on where you're shopping at. Over, under at 10 across the board. To me, just seems like now an unbettable game. San Diego's going to go through their bullpen at this point. I mean, Hendricks hasn't been that bad. I don't know if I even broke down the numbers in this game since we did have the pitching change, so I don't have those directly in front of me. But if you're looking just from an overall betting perspective, to me, there's no value in this game. But if you're going to look to bet a team, obviously Chicago should be able to pull ahead with basically a 9-inning game of who, what, where, and why pitchers for the San Diego Padres that are going to be thrust into action. So anybody out there has any information on this game that would be pertinent, I sure would like to hear it, but I'm not going to be involved in that at 10 across the board, 255 total. I don't like it on the run line. I don't like it run line first 5 innings, or even just taking a flyer on the dog, because what are you actually going to get out of Lockett on the mound as well? Leroy Flood, what's up, brother? Welcome into the chat box. And some of these early games aren't so good. The last couple of nights, I'm not going to lie. And I know a lot of people in the chat box, if you're going back and forth with me on Twitter, or just looking at some of the Twitter stuff, a lot of high-priced games yesterday. Like, we just dip back in and take a look at how some of these games ended last. I mean, Verlander was really good yesterday, albeit outside of the first batter of the game he faced, Jock Peterson, who took him deep. He settled down. They get a 2-1 win there. Then you take a look at Toronto with Baracchio on the mound, Marco Gonzalez has been very good, especially very good at home. What is up with the Seattle Mariners? I mean, they got doused 7-2 last night. Oakland, for some reason, can't get a base hit until the 13th inning. It seemed like a 1-0 final as they beat Hardy out there. Then you're going to take a look at Minnesota. That game was junky. Gerardo versus Hess in the Baltimore game. That was terrible. Another huge upset, Berea over Clevenger in Cleveland at home. I know when Big Man joins the chat here in just a few moments, always makes me kind of laugh when he gets after it, because Cleveland, one of those teams on his X list that you never know what's going to take place. But looking at that game, Clevenger should have an easy win. I mean, you figure the bats would be better, especially with Mike Trout out. That wasn't the case. And they closed at what? Opened up at 185, 190 yesterday, folks. That closed at 260, and they lost by 3 runs in that. Yeah, Seattle ROI is dropping fast in that. I mean, they're usually used to getting after it out there, scoring some runs, but now all of a sudden, they're well above 500, but their run differential is now turning into a negative, which is astounding, and still keeping yourself in the race. We see teams with losing records, folks, 50, 60 runs better than the average, and now you're looking at Seattle dipping below that. So, I mean, that's going to be a real interesting one. Stanek, who was great to open the game at a bullpen start versus the Chicago White Sox, so sometimes you never know what you're going to get out of. Look at that 3-2 win on the road by the White Sox yesterday, closing over 2-1. 205 in Intertops yesterday was the favorite for Tampa Bay in that game. Start to finish winner there, it seemed like, for the White Sox. Then, of course, we went over the Boston game 4-1, just strengthening their grip. And the big man is here. Hey.
Couldn't wait on me, huh? Had to get
man, come on, man. We got to get on time here, Jeff. I wake up a little bit earlier, man. Start that computer.
I woke up a half an hour ago. I don't know what they want from me. I mean, I guess we have to listen to Donnie, though, say we'll have some fun here about 8 times. So
yeah, exactly. Hey, I'd rather be live than not live. So the party's got to go on, Jeff. I'm always here on time and ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let's not forget your own Skype issues a couple weeks ago. Let's get into the card here. We'll start it off, Donnie. You already went over the Cubs and the Padres, right?
Yeah, junk-ass game right there. I mean, what is there to catch? Does anybody have some information on Lockett, Jeff, and how he's going to deal today versus the Cubs? I would like to hear it.
By the way, shout out to Preston North End with a goal. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, Donnie.
Yeah, but are they big? Is there a rivalry between them and the South End, or no? Is that not right?
There's no South End. Well, there is a South End, but they're not in that league. Gotcha. So we're just rooting on goals here in this game. But Donnie, let's get into the baseball card. Just a mound of baseball today that I cannot wait to talk about. This is just utterly incomprehensible how excited I am to talk about baseball today. I can't wait.
Gomber versus Nova, 953, 954, 64% backing Pittsburgh here at home today. And you heard a lot about Chris Archer yesterday. I mean, hey, look, all that matters at the end of the day if you bet the Pittsburgh Pirates and picked up the victory, I guess. But if you're looking for Archer to dominate and carry you to a victory, that certainly wasn't the case. Now Nova's going to take the mound today, opened up at 118. Looks like 118 at both Pinnacle and Chris, Jeff. 117 to 120 across the board. So you have some good betting numbers there, despite 64% of the card, or excuse me, 64% of the public being on Pittsburgh early. Some numbers to take a look at, Jeff. If we're looking at some Sierra, numbers that predict how they're supposed to pitch along with how they have been pitching. Nova 4.99. Gomber's been pretty good, Jeff, 3.89. If you take a look at some hitting splits there between road and home splits. Pittsburgh 319, but not too bad for St. Louis, Jeff, 325 on the road, and lefty-righty splits. How are you hitting those pitchers? Obviously, both from the right-hand side. I mean, they're okay. 313 on one side for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and for the St. Louis Cardinals, Jeff, a 310. Nice betting number there, under 120 here for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about Gomber. I don't think anybody does. I don't know what a Gomber is, and I don't claim to know. Do you know what a Gomber is, Donnie? Austin Gomber?
No, but he's not too bad of a pitcher though. He's not too bad.
No, I know. But Nova's been very good. I mean, you look at his numbers at home this year: 9 starts, get ERA just above 3. It's been terrific. Yeah, I don't have I've told you before, I don't have a lot of luck with the Cardinals, so I kind of avoid them and stay away from them. But this does look like a nice play on Pittsburgh here. You like the pitching matchup. I just don't have a lot of luck with the St. Louis Cardinals, so I would probably lean Pittsburgh here. But it's not one of my more favorite games, kind of like how you feel in the first game. Just not a game that I'm looking at. What did I want to discuss here? Oh, yeah, Donnie. Why go on the show then? Go talk about your fake soccer league somewhere else.
Jeff, he's got a point. He's got a point on the fake soccer league, though, doesn't he?
I mean, I'm the king of soccer, and I make a ton of money for people. But again, all you shitheads can talk. I'll tell you right now, Donnie, I am not in the mood today. I am not in the mood today for people like this guy. Big man, I know you weren't up because you didn't tweet England picks. Actually, Neil Frank, yesterday I did an entire show dedicated to the entire England card, and I went over it game by game. So maybe you people, one of you people need to tune in, and you'll be able to see those. It's time, Donnie, for me to go on a rant because I'm going to get this out of the way.
All right, go ahead. Rant.
I'm very annoyed with the fucking Yankees. I'm very annoyed with this motherfucking team. I'm sick of the bullshit with this group. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, and I'm sick of it. And last night came to a motherfucking head. I am fucking tired of the fucking Yankees. 7.5 games back now. I mean, you got Chase fucking Adams pitching tonight. I mean, you're going to get swept in a 4-game series, Donnie.
Yeah, no, and it all gets back to the point for me, Jeff. That there were some Yankee fans out there that wouldn't even have traded Gleyber Torres straight up for Jake DeGrom, the best pitcher in baseball, which will be stopping the Boston Red Sox right now. But hey, you get what you get.
Yeah, well, I mean, did Boston ever lose?
No, it doesn't seem. How about the whole narrative, Jeff, for the last month? Like, well, Boston's not even playing anybody. That's why they're not losing. I swear to God, it looks like they never lose. You're right.
I mean, when did Steve Pearce become a fucking, when did he become Babe Ruth?
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm just annoyed with this team, man. What do we got here? Donnie, your Phillies, minus 165, taking on the Marlins. Zach Eflin against Julio Urena. You like anything here?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's another high line. It's similar to what it was yesterday, Jeff. When we talked about this game yesterday, what was the whole case in point of the game? Can you get anything out of the Phillies? And back-to-back nights, they don't do anything, it seems like, Jeff, for 5, 6, 7 innings, and then finally turn it on late and get some tack-on runs and win it 5-1. It just doesn't, it's Rhys Hoskins. Odubel Herrera is the stupidest baseball player on the planet. I wish somebody would reach out to us, Jeff, and say, you know what? We'll give you a couple really good prospects for Odubel because he has a decent contract and he does show some talent. But the Phillies' baseball IQ outside of, I don't even mind Carlos Santana, Jeff. He's in 216. But at least when he comes up to the plate, he's not a knucklehead, and he's not really a knucklehead in the field. Or Cesar Hernandez, Jeff, who hits 260 out of the leadoff position and takes 100 pitches at night. At least he's competent at what he does. But the Nick Williams, very talented. Odubel Herrera, a talented guy. Scott Kingery, who he's still young. I think he's going to be a good ball player in the future. But there's no way that these guys step into the batter's box and have any formation of what they're supposed to be doing hitting-wise. Let me take a pitch because Odubel Herrera is the king of this, Jeff. Oh, look at this. First 2 guys in front of me walked on 8 pitches. I'm swinging from my heels at a breaking ball in the dirt first pitch. That's just Odubel Herrera out there. So it's astounding because I know you have the same revelation as I do with the Phillies. I have no idea how they're in first place because outside of that dominant pitching staff that they have going right now, and thank God they do, they're a dumb hitting and fielding baseball team. Yeah,
I mean, I kind of pointed that out to you, Donnie. I mean, this is a bad offensive team. There's not a lot of, there's not a lot of offense in this offense. I mean, there's not a lot to look at. I mean, there's no real, I guess Rhys Hoskins is a star. I mean, you added Asdrubal Cabrera. You would think it would get better. You had some of these guys, Wilson Ramos. It should get better, but Yeah. Urania today, though, he struggled. He struggled a lot lately. It's weird, though. He had 2 starts where he gave up 5 runs. Then he gives up, and then he goes scoreless against Washington. He shuts down the Nationals. 165 is a bit high for the Phillies. I'm not laying a run line with the Phillies. So therefore, if their number's not good enough, I'm not betting on them.
Yeah, and again, you're looking at Eflin there, which again, if you say Urania has struggled, look at both of their Sierra numbers, Jeff, over the past 30 days. A 5 for Eflin and a 5 for Urania. And then you want to say, like, oh, well, the Phillies play in a hitter-friendly ballpark. Weighted on base average for them, Jeff, on the season at home, 317. It's not even at league-wide average, and you play in a hitter's ballpark. And then if you want to say, like, all right, well, let's look at the Marlins, Jeff, right? They don't play in a hitter's ballpark, and then you figure they would be a little bit better on the road. A 302 weighted on base average on the road. I see the same type of game that I'm having the past couple nights, Jeff, where it's going to be good luck if you get a run. And let's talk about the Phillies, how they even got their first run to even get back into that game or score their first run. Vince Velasquez had to lead off with a double and get driven home. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know how long they can continue to last where they are in the standings. But they just keep lasting. I mean, we're in August, Donnie, and they're still in first place. It's pretty amazing. We'll pass on that one. We'll also pass on the doubleheader here. We don't know what's going to go on in Game 1 or Game 2. Colorado, Milwaukee. Peralta against Anderson. Peralta laying 135 total. 8.5. You look at last night in this game, Milwaukee wins 5-3 behind Junior Guerra. It was pretty good. Junior Guerra pitches well continuously. The guy's just a baller. Colorado, not great on the road, just can't hit, only hitting 231. Do you just kind of ride Milwaukee here, Donnie? I mean, Freddie Peralta, though, you have to be a little concerned. I mean, he did have one bad start, but I don't always look at throwing just one start in and saying, well, I'm going to crucify him over one start. He had one bad start against Washington. It wasn't a good one. Other than that, he's been pretty good. Where are you going in this game? Milwaukee 4-1 against Colorado this year.
Yeah, when you look at those numbers, Jeff, I mean, Anderson away from Coors is a really good pitcher, and I was on on Anderson last time he was out with Colorado when they played the St. Louis Cardinals, Jeff. It was amazing. Looked like he was set up for a complete game, then lost his touch out of nowhere on the road. And again, when you're heading into Milwaukee, Jeff, with their new revamped lineup, because it's not like they didn't already have a good lineup, there are no easy outs 1 through 8. So he's going to be tested again. But you're right. Look at them away from Coors, Jeff, on the hitting splits there. If we take a look, not even lefty-righty, just away. Jeff, they're under 300 weighted on base average on the road outside of Coors. If we take a look, how do they hit a right-handed batter? Decent at 314. But that's overall on the season, Jeff, if you include Coors. The lineup looks great on paper when you back the Colorado Rockies. But you're right. They don't get it done on the way on the road, man.
Yeah, I would probably – I don't know. This is another tough game. A lot of tough games here so far. I would go with Milwaukee just on the strength that that bullpen's really good. I do like Peralta. I mean, he did have, like I said, a bad start, but I don't know. I still think that bullpen is worth betting on. I'll probably go Brewers. I think that's a bit of a cause to take them over Colorado. Atlanta Mets. Mets going with Wheeler. Kevin Gausman for the Braves. They get him in the trade. Braves minus 120, total 8. Kevin Gausman changes scenery. You would hope that would improve his psyche. Braves are obviously playing good baseball. They won 5 in a row. Why, of course, the Mets, they've lost 4 in a row. That's really all they do is go on losing streaks. I mean, Donnie, the Mets are amazing, aren't they? I mean, you look at this year at home. They're hitting 209 at home. 209. Yet again, Donnie, they're on a streak where they're hitting under 200 over the week. I mean, they're hitting 190 over the last 7 games. I mean, I feel bad for Yankee fans. I mean, obviously, we don't deserve this, or maybe we do, but Mets fans, do they deserve this? I mean, it just never seems to end for the Mets. I mean, they're always just pure shit. Look at DeGrom, for instance. I mean, DeGrom continuously pitches well and just doesn't win games. I don't understand. I mean, it's amazing how poor the Mets are. They're one of the worst teams I've ever seen at this level from an offensive perspective.
No, and just to the previous point before that, Jeff, when you're looking at that Colorado-Milwaukee game, again, we're just trying to ride Milwaukee. You got to be pulling your hair out, Jeff. How many leads does that Colorado bullpen give up? And we can't even use the excuse, Jeff, well, they're going to give it up because it's Colorado and crazy. They give it up on the road as well. But back to the Mets, just getting after it. A couple of weeks ago on the roundtable, I got a little bit of Snickers out there, said a fade pitcher out there would be Jacob deGrom. Not because Jacob deGrom stinks. It's because it's going to come with a decent price, and they're never going to hit. The MO, if you're betting against deGrom, is just wait him out, Jeff. If he throws 8 innings of one-run ball, there's a good chance, Jeff, that game is tied or the Mets actually are losing at that point, despite how good he pitches. Same exact thing happened yesterday. Scrape out a run or two versus the Mets, wait out deGrom. You're going to get yourself a W. But you're right. Look at their home splits, Jeff. Weighted on base average, a 272. That's like just hitting off a tee and grounding out to shortstop every single plate appearance. You're not going to get much help. Pitchers, Zach Wheeler's a good pitcher as well. They get no help out there. Is you going to be surprised, Jeff, that Zach Wheeler goes 6 innings, gives up 2 earned runs, and doesn't pick up the win because they can't score any runs? And this is Gausman coming into town with the Sierra of 4.83. It's not Chris Sale going against it, but you can't trust anybody in that Mets lineup. That Mets lineup, once you get past like Conforto in the 3 spot, is hilarious all the way down.
Yeah, I think on principle, you just fade the Mets here. Gausman with a new kind of change, you would think he can be serviceable enough here. I don't think he has to be unbelievable either. Wheeler, they're not going to give him any run sports. Does it really matter? Atlanta, Donnie, this year 11-3 against the Mets. You just have really dominated them, and they're 5-0 in Citi Field. So look at this price. I think you got to lean Braves. This looks like a real nice play for them. Next here, what do we got? Giants at Arizona. Arizona 142, total 8.5. Clay Buchholz against Andrew Suarez. Another team, Donnie, that continues to just kind of fade, the Giants. I thought at the beginning of the year, I thought this team could maybe go to the World Series. I thought they had a lot of things to be excited about. The rotation looked pretty solid. You got Bumgarner leading it, Cueto, looked like a solid group, but they kind of haven't been healthy all year. But you look at Arizona, I'm not ever really interested in them against a lefty. They only hit 237 against lefties. They are hitting right now. But this Suarez, I kind of faded him to start the season. He's been okay, not great. I just have it in my head to fade Suarez. That's just kind of my thoughts. I had some success with that earlier. And Buchholz has been terrific. Where has this Clay Buchholz been? 9 games in Arizona, he's got a 2.12 ERA, just over 1 WHIP. Buchholz has been fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's if you're looking at those numbers there, Suarez's Sierra the last 30 days, you have close to 5. So obviously the pitching matchup on paper does go to Buchholz. But you're right. Let's take a look at the hitting matchup there. Home and away splits, 314, which isn't a great average for Arizona. We know how they struggle, especially Paul Goldschmidt, Jeff, struggling mightily to start the season. But seems like, they're adding to their lineup. He's getting back in rhythm and they look better. But 294, a road average, Jeff, for the San Francisco Giants with the weighted on base average at the plate. If we take a look at lefty-righty splits, against right-handed pitchers, the Giants, Jeff, 307. The Arizona Diamondbacks, 322. So everything points in the direction. And also, you get the added bonus, Jeff. Who's the best player on the San Francisco Giants, Jeff, batting?
Like ever or right now?
No, right now, in their lineup right now. Who's the best hitter? That's it. Buster Posey. Posey. Come on. But no, he's out tonight. So he won't even be in the lineup. Yeah.
I don't say his name, Donnie.
But there's another added bonus, which, once the public gets a hold of, what's the line at right now? We see it is moving up a little bit. Opened up at 138. Looks like it's at 142 in that range. But I think you're getting a decent number on Arizona here being the home team. No Buster Posey in that lineup. So that's where I sit on that game. If I'm looking right now, Jeff, at this game before lineups even come out, knowing Posey's out, I'm going to lean towards Arizona again.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a nice little play here. A little high, Clay Buchholz, you just had to have it in your head. You don't want to lay 142 with Clay Buchholz. But, yeah, he's been very good. You mentioned Posey out. That hurts. Yankees and Red Sox. Red Sox 155, total 10. Chase Adams pitching today. Daddy, listen to this quote. Boone, obviously we're a little depleted here of late. It's some of the moves we've had to make. No, it's some of the moves you made. You made the moves, not us. You did. He's coming up some really strong starts. Yeah, I know. I've seen that, Boone. He's been terrific down in AAA. He's got an ERA over 4.5. Yeah, he's been real good down in AAA. Hopefully, he can give us a quality outing and give us a chance. Well, if you wouldn't have fucked up the rotation, we wouldn't have to worry about this, and we would maybe be able to salvage a 2-2 split here in a series where if we lose, this is pretty much over. So thanks again, Aaron. Appreciate it. Chase Adams hasn't been good, Donnie. There's not really to say about it. He's just been an average pitcher down in AAA. I'm not really sure why you don't bring up Justice Sheffield. Again, though, we just continue to wait around for him. I have no confidence that the Yankees can win this game. Uvalde throws hard. I'm sure he'll shut them down. Are you as down on the Yankees as I am?
Yeah, no, I mean, once I saw, the pitching, not even the pitching changes, who they're going to get in, I didn't even cap the game overall. Eovaldi, again, newer pitcher, so to speak, there with the Boston Red Sox. So technically, this is now his home ballpark. But you're looking at what? 150, 152, 153. But it all comes back to, who do you trust more at this point? I mean, are the Yankees going to give you an honest effort with that pitcher out there? I think Eovaldi can go. I mean, not to say Eovaldi is going to shut down the Yankees, primarily a fastball pitcher. We all know the Yankees can deal with fastballs and get hot at the plate, but in no way, shape, or form right now am I excited to back the New York Yankees. If you would ask you, Jeff, 2 weeks ago, be like, hey, by the way, it's going to be a game in Boston where the Yankees are getting plus 138. You just be all over it by default.
Yeah, no, agreed, totally. I mean, are they throwing something in here that maybe the Yankees are the play and everyone's going to bet against the Yankees and Adams and, this line will just kind of go down? And Boston's the most bet game today, Donnie, so far. I mean, does this line keep falling? What if by first pitch this is at 140?
Yeah.
Do you take the Yankees in that spot?
I don't know anything. You know what I mean? You're banking on Adams going up there and dealing against the best team in baseball. It's hard to say because who's more likely to get hit around in this game? Is it Eovaldi or is it going to be Adams in this instance? I still lean. It's Boston and it's at home. It's hard to beat them as is. Now they're at home and they're catching fire, and the Yankees in a little bit of turmoil, not in the best of form right now. So I mean, if you give me a free bet, I would be on Boston just because I don't know what Adams is going to give me. And it's hard to bet on somebody, Jeff, where I'm saying, well, I hope he gives me 5 innings. You know what I mean?
Lucky Posey never play. Exactly, he never plays. He's the softest major league player in baseball. He has to have a day. Yeah, dude, he has 3 days off a week.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. He's soft as fuck. I mean, everybody knows that. I mean, back when he pulled that little stunt where he didn't defend his catcher against Bryce Harper, I soured on him. He's a little punk. Buster Posey. Chicago White Sox and the Rays 158, total 7. Carlos Rodon against Blake Snell. Battle of the lefties here, Donnie. Your boy Snell, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, coming off the DL, so I mean, immediately you think he's the better pitcher, but we all know when you come off the DL, how do you do? Are you a little bit tight in the first couple innings, where you don't walk anybody, maybe you walk 2 or 3 batters. If you take a look at overall numbers over the past month, even though Snell's been on the DL, these guys are both around a 4 Sierra. But if we're taking a look at road hitting splits there versus home, 319 for the Rays, not always the bastion of hitting down there in the dome, but if you're looking at a road split for the White Sox, Jeff, they're only at 300 weighted on base average. But here's what I like about this, Jeff. If we're taking a look at the Rays versus left-handed pitching as a team, Jeff, on the season, 326 weighted on base average, not too bad. If we flip that over to the White Sox, Jeff, a weighted on base average of 296. So I think you're getting a decent number here on Tampa Bay, who at least is, I can't even say they're playing for anything because they're not going to the playoffs, but overall a better team. Now, keep in mind, they did lose last night, so you think a bounce-back effort. If you think Snell's going to be in form, I don't think that's a bad price to pay.
No, I agree. The White Sox are really bad. White Sox, they're another team. Do they ever seem like they win? I mean, they just. I know you did.
Yeah, I had him. I had him the other night. See, isn't that funny? I get him the other night against arguably the worst team in baseball. Yeah. They get torched, and then they go on the road in a tough place to play. Where we see it, Jeff. Red Sox, Yankees. Everybody struggles when they go down to Tampa Bay. Not the White Sox.
Snell will flirt with a no-hitter today, Donnie.
Yes.
Mark it up. Yeah. This White Sox team is dreadful. Donnie, you know what I hate? You know what I really hate? I hate when you cap a card, right? And you see a game and you say to yourself, I'm on that game. I'm going to take that one. Yeah. Then you get to the end where you're going to put your plays in and you say to yourself, you know what?
I don't know if I like it.
There's something about that game I don't like.
Yep.
All right, so I did that. Right?
Yeah.
I did that. I took Preston North End. Okay, I got them. They're winning. I was going to take it was between Fleetwood Town in League One, and it was Brentford in the championship. Now Brentford's playing the worst team in the championship. They're the team that I had to go down. They're the 24th worst team. Now I didn't take Brentford for some reason. Now, what do you think the score in the Brentford-Rotherham game is right now?
It's a runaway, Jeff, and you did not take it.
They're up 4-0. And what do you think the score in Fleetwood Town is?
Yep, opposite.
Fleetwood's down 1-0.
Yes,
Of course. You know what?
But the problem is that with the human nature, Jeff, of the sports gambler, the psyche of it, we only remember the ones that you look like. How many games do we cap and get? We'll go over the whole card, and at the end of the night, you'll put a play. And let's just say you played Washington with Hellickson, right? And they're scuffling 1-1. But you only remember the other ones like, I was going to go in Kansas City. They're up 6-1. I was going to go in Houston. They're up 5-1. But then you forget about the 3 other games that you would have gone on that are getting beat as well. Yeah. I love it. It's the psyche of a gambler is awesome. I love it. Second guess yourself. I love this game all day. You're about to send it out to your people, and you pull back and go, oh, man, I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if I like that number anymore. Yeah, of course.
Well, I hate taking new managers, and I don't know if you know who Joey Barton is. He was a former player in the Premier League. He was a drunk. He beat up people when he was in the league. He was a gambler. He got caught gambling on sports. He's not in the Premier League anymore, but he's now the manager at Fleetwood. And I should have known better. I should have known that this little prick was going to fuck me. I knew it. But Donnie, you know what I was thinking last night? I had someone ask me a question on what was your worst loss you've ever had as a gambler and your best loss. And I truly went back and looked over that Bahamas Bowl again.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, I truly still can't believe that happened.
Huh, it ruined my Christmas, man. It literally did.
I mean, it was 42-14.5.
No, I remember that day quite well because we closed. It was I believe it was Christmas Eve, correct?
Yeah.
Watching the game and back in my old life there in the store, and everybody goes home, everybody's cleaned up, and say, you know what? I'm going to stick behind. I'm going to watch this game just to let it finish out because we all as gamblers see a 5-touchdown lead or whatever the hell it was in the last quarter. And all you want to do is just give me a stop right here. One stop, one dropped pass, one guy get tackled in bounds, and you got it because there were so many freak endings. But I watched that game all by myself in an empty store.
Donnie,
just turned the TV off and drove home.
Donnie, it was 42-14 or at what point? And Ryan lived with me at the time. He comes out of the room and he's leaving. He goes, bro, I don't know why you're watching that. That game's over. And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, you motherfucker. I said, it's not over. I mean, you never know. And I remember calling him. He didn't even know. He's like, they lost? I'm like, yeah, the cover lost. We didn't win.
And what was the final dagger, Jeff, in the heart of that football game? What was the final dagger?
Well, the backwards laterals, and then they went for 2 instead of.
There you go.
Instead of
not only did these idiots have 19 laterals to score, but then I'm like, gamblers like say, all right, overtime. Can we just win this in overtime? And they're going for 2. And you're like, all right, TV in the street. Here we go.
It's the worst. Steve Levy was on the call, I think. The worst.
Oh, yeah, probably Desmond Howard was probably down there too on the call, loving every minute of it when you're ready to strangle him.
Yeah. I love those guys. They're like, oh, this is so great. It's like everyone's on West Kentucky, fuck. This isn't great, prick. We'll lean with Tampa Bay here in this one against the White Sox. What do we have here? Cleveland. Oh, fucking Cleveland against the Angels. Pena against Corey Kluber. Indians 250, total 8.5. Mike Trout questionable, Donnie, for this game. Is that true?
Yeah, he's probably going to. He's sat the past couple nights. I mean, they might even sit him again, but doesn't seem like it matters, Jeff, because you take the best hitter out of the lineup and magically you put up some runs and win the game. Shohei Ohtani style.
Yeah, listen, dude, if you can figure this game out, I would like to hear it. I mean, how do you figure this fucking baseball out? I mean, it's such a fucking dart throw anymore. Yeah. You look at last night, Donnie. Okay, that Tiger Athletic game. Would you Blaine Hardy against Blake Anderson or whatever his name is? Nil in the 9th inning.
Anderson.
What? What is that?
13 innings, 1 run out there, Jeff. 13 innings, 1 run. You know what I mean? It's amazing.
Amazing. Felix Pena here for the Angels. He's been good in his 2 road starts, but you look at his last 3 starts in general. I mean, he had that real bad outing against Seattle, and it's really inflated his ERA. But you look at his couple starts on the road, he's been good. I mean, .96 ERA over just 9 in the third inning. So not a real big sample size. Kluber, terrific as always. 22 starts this year, a 2.79 ERA, 0.945 WHIP. What do you say about Kluber? 139 strikeouts in 145 innings. He, another one, had one bad start against the Yankees, but other than that, he has been very good. Cleveland's won 13 of 17 against the Angels this year. They should win, but do we trust them to cover a run line?
No, you're right. If you look at, we all know how good Kluber is, and typically Kluber is good at home. But if you take a look at the last month of starts, Jeff, very pedestrian Kluber. Sierra number at 4.65, Pena at 4.59. So theoretically, Jeff, over the last 30 days, Pena is the better pitcher. But we all know some of that stuff gets adjusted there with home starts. 350 home split there, weighted on base average for Cleveland at home. We know they rake. No question about it. Now, let's take a look at lefty-righty splits out there. Not a bad split here, Jeff. If you're looking at the Angels, 331 weighted on base average versus righties, 330 for the Cleveland Indians. So you might see a little bit of runs here because Kluber not on point all the way. Do I still think he's a better pitcher? Yes, but let's take a look at some, are we going to get any advantages here with the overall number? I mean, what do we like? 250, 260 on the line with Kluber. I won't be involved, but kind of sneaky, the Angels here, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, without Trout, though, it's hard to think that 2 games in a row it's gonna be something I want to get involved with. But yeah,
Andrew Miller back also for the Indians, so a little bit of a bullpen boost. I mean, are they the better team overall? Of course they are, but sometimes maybe just shake your head out there and say, if I'm getting the Kluber of old, or I know I'm going to get Kluber 8 innings, 13 Ks, they're going to blow this team off the map. But Kluber hasn't technically been that guy over the past 30 days.
Yeah, maybe take a little flyer here. I don't hate it. I mean, the Angels are generally much better, much more effective on the road than they are at home, as we found out this year. So, yeah, I don't hate that play. Royals and Twins, Berrios against Smith. Berrios 230, total 9. Look, the Royals fucking blow. I mean, what do you say about the Royals, Donnie? I mean, they lose Moustakas, who was one of the only good players they had. Now what do they have? Whit Merrifield?
Sally Perez. It's all on Sally Perez's shoulders, Jeff.
And Birch Smith has been terrible. I mean, what else do you say about Birch? Simon Birch Smith. He's been bad. 10-6-1 over his 3 road starts this year. His whip's over 2 on the road. Berrios has really kind of figured it out. He's been terrific. I think the Twins crushed the fucking Royals today.
Yeah, because again, it gets back to the point, Jeff. Can you hit? Not really. Can you close down on a game with the lead? Typically not really. Can you start the game with a dominant pitcher? No, you can. I mean, Barrios has been good over the last 30 days. Smith's numbers outside of those bomb starts, I mean, he did have some decent numbers Sierra-wise over the past 30 days. But when you take a look at can you hit, right? Like Barrios has electric stuff. When he's on, maybe a good hitting lineup can get after him and maybe get some base runners. When you take a look at the Royals, Jeff, home and away splits, 294 on the road. And then if you take a look at, maybe they hit right-handers, 295 weighted on base average. So if I can't pitch, I can't hit. And then if I do stumble into a lead, I can't lock it down with my bullpen. Good luck on you if you're a gambler.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. This is kind of the first game that's kind of, showing me something here, Donnie. I mean, Minnesota looks pretty solid. You look at all the games, Donnie. These teams have played 20 games over the last 3 seasons in Minnesota. 16 have gone over the number. So I think Minnesota's going to score some runs today against this Birch Smith guy. I think they put up a crooked number. I think Barrios is pretty effective. They could maybe hit the over themselves. I'm looking at, Donnie, a 9-3 type of game here. That's what I'm liking here. Orioles, Orioles, Rangers, minus 141, total 10.5. Dylan Bundy against Michael Minor. Any interest here in fucking Baltimore, Donnie?
No, and this is one of the games I actually really like here. I mean, based on some lineups that come out, they should be okay because if one guy is missing from the Baltimore Orioles lineup, like let's just say you sit you take away Scope out of the lineup, take away Machado. All right, maybe Andrew Jones is there, but what are we getting excited about? A reincarnation of Chris Davis? That's never going to happen. Or Trumbo. Looking at the numbers there over the last 30 days, Bundy has a 5 Sierra number. Minor has a 4, so you get a one run difference there. But look at the bats, Jeff. Home and away splits. The Rangers are unconscious at home on the season, Jeff. 341 weighted on base average. So now let's take away Scope and let's take away Machado to this team who only hits 286 weighted on base average on the road. Jeff, it's a decent price right now. Yes, it is square. Yes, 68% are on Texas. The line opened up at 148. It's like 148, 145 right now. But there can be times for sharps and squares to me, Jeff. You know us, right? We like April, May, right when you don't really know what you're really getting out of a team yet. You can maybe sneak up and catch the public. But when you're heading into August, and it's not even the haves and the have-nots, just when you look at the Rangers' complete lineup versus the complete lineup for the Orioles, it just doesn't stack up. So if you're saying, hey, I'm just going to take a flyer on the Orioles because they're plus money, I guess that's all you're taking a flyer on. But to me here, it's Rangers or nobody.
Yeah. Listen, I think you're playing with fire a bit, though, with Texas. I never trust
First five, Jeff. First five.
Okay. Yeah. But again, still, I mean, I guess Mike Bonner's been pretty good and Dylan Bunny's been awful. But, Donnie, you're not worried about Baltimore. They have been hitting kind of out of the blue lately. They've been.
I think they got smacked back on the road because we all know as well, Jeff. Look, football, soccer, anything. What happens when you lose like a couple big guns, right? You rally the troops. Guys are still excited. I'm going to get my shot at the 3-hole. I'm going to get my shot at the 5-hole. I'm coming up from the minor leagues. I'm going to show my way. And after 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, you settle back into that shitty team that you really are. And I know you traded away some guys in that Texas back end of the bullpen there. I get that. But also, what the hell did Baltimore do in their bullpen? And they're on the road. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. You're right. I wanted to. Here's Donnie. I have to feel bad for this comment. Girlfriend's in Paris for a week.
That's Giorgio.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, that's exciting. Finally, get a whole weekend to sit down and watch Sports Uninterrupted. I can't imagine life like that.
You have that life.
I got to give all you guys credit for that. You guys are warriors. That you actually have a situation where a woman dictates if you get to watch sports or not. What a life. I'll never live like that. I'm Paulie Walnuts.
You're never going to sit on the couch when you come upstairs and you put the Phillies game on and the wife's looking at her phone, but while she's looking at her phone says, why do we have this on the TV? And then you tell the wife, well, you're on your phone. And then she says, I'm not on my phone, even though when she's staring at her phone. And then she goes upstairs because she's mad. That's the welcome to my life.
Bruh, I'm Paulie Walnuts to the fucking death. I come home. I put what I want. I got my chairs. I got remember Paulie Walnut's house, Donnie? He had like that cleared like stuff over all his furniture.
Yeah, like your grandma would have. Exactly. The cellophane or whatever the hell's on top of it. Clear plastic. Yeah.
That's me. I get down. I got my wife beater on. I get down. Throw the Yankees game on. Eat something. I got some fucking broad bothering me. When I wanted to leave, she leaves. Get out of here. Beat it. All right, Ron. Well, hey, I don't think she can knock my realness, Ron. I'm just being real here. Exactly, Giorgio. Tell her to beat it. Here's some money. Go out and make yourself useful. Do what you want to do.
Like Giorgio had to just get a weekend away. He had to send his girl to Paris just to get a week to a couple days.
Yeah, dude. All you got to do is really just give her some money. To go to the spa. Beat it. Leave me alone. But you know what sucks about that, Donnie, is she's going to come back eventually.
Yeah.
I just prefer to get to the business, beat it.
Like, yeah, at least when we head to the IFBC, at least the wife's going to meet me on Sunday night and not on Thursday, so I get some time off there and then, see what's what.
By the way, Donnie, Donnie and I are on the same flight out to Vegas. Now, listen, Donnie, I got to ask you. Yeah. Ian Cameron, Ian Cameron.
Who?
I heard through the grapevine that last year he was on the same flight as Morency.
Yes.
Like he did the old, I'm going to pretend I don't know you're on this flight kind of thing.
No way. Yeah. Well, did they leave out of Toronto or wherever? Because I was on the same.
Yeah.
I was on the flight with them. I think we were in Charlotte, I want to say, and flew from Charlotte to Costa Rica, and we were all on the same flight.
Yeah,
Steve was on that flight. Gabe was on that flight. Ian was on that flight. Somebody else was on that flight. Who else was on that?
It seems like that. I guess they didn't sit next to each other, and I kind of thought to myself, it seems like he was trying to avoid you a little bit, Gabe. What's up with that, Donnie?
Trying to avoid who?
Like, if you were like you and I are on the same flight, we'll try to sit next to each other, right?
I didn't even know. I never saw Gabe in my life before that flight, though.
No, but if Ian and Gabe were like, they're from the same area, right? Well,
yeah, come on.
I think Ian would be like, "Yo, Gabe, what flight are you on, bro?"
Yeah.
I had to get a kick out of Ian too, Donnie. We were talking about IPC the other night, and Ian goes, he goes, I'm getting into Vegas a little late. He goes, I'll probably just head back to the room and get some sleep.
Who said that?
There's not much to do. Ian Cameron says that, and Gabe goes, Ian, you're in Vegas. You're gonna get there around midnight. What do you mean there's nothing to do? Fucking Ian Cameron, man. Gotta love him.
Yep, we'll be having some fun. That's nice though. On that Friday night, we get to chill out and relax a little bit.
Yeah. What's happening? What's up, Nick Newell? Welcome in, man. Oh yeah, he's a big Soup Fest guy. Don't bring that up to him. He doesn't like that.
Yeah, maybe we'll surprise him. Maybe there'll be some nice soups at the banquet out in BC.
Big man, try finding a woman who loves sports. I love sports.
No. See, that's a fallacy right there, right now. Get that out of the way, because I'm going to tell you a little bit about my past right now. She doesn't even watch the show. She could care less. But in my past, I've had people I'm a football freak. I am a sports freak. My whole life around sports. It's now my full-time job, but I've always, any free time action I get, I'm at an Eagles game, I'm at a Phillies game, I'm watching, I'm doing whatever. And I remember a couple of girls saying, oh, that's great. I'll never, I love sports and do this. And they get with me for 4 or 5 months and be like, I didn't think it was going to be like this. Well, what did you expect? You even said you liked sports. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, hey, you got to get a chick that, I guess, I don't know. I don't know if I could deal with that right now, but
maybe it's good that they don't, because you have that nice, she hates it, I love it, so that's why it works. She yells at me, but I don't yell back, so maybe that's why we work, I guess.
But the thought of getting off this show right now and walking out and having some broad be like, "What are we doing today?" I'm like,
yes, that's what I'm going to get right now.
Beat it.
I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna say I have to cap a game or two. She's gonna huff and puff. She'll probably head out to the mall. Then she'll come back at 2:30 when I'm watching one of the games. That if I have a first 5-game wager, it's the bottom of the fourth. And can you get the water out of the trunk for me while my guys at the plate 3-2 at men on second and third? And I say no, and then it turns into a fight right there. That's my life, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, you got to find a woman like Miss J. I guess she's into sports. She likes sports more than her boyfriend. How
amazing.
About that?
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. But let's try to finish up a couple more here, Donnie. How about we do this? Donnie? Do you want to just do? Why don't we pick out the game or two that we like in the last 4 here? Let me ask you this: Mariners going with Paxton today. Paxton going back to Toronto. His first game since the no-hitter.
Yeah, he's home. Seattle bats are struggling. We can all agree. But if you want to look at a pitching matchup that's a mismatch, Jeff, it's going to be this one right here. But again, you're looking at 245 if you're going to bet the Mariners in this one. What gives you do I like Seattle? Of course I do. I think they're the better overall team than Toronto is. But do we lay I don't know. Maybe I'm just in my old school saying I don't lay 245 in a game. I don't know.
No, I don't trust Paxton either. I feel like I always get fucked by Paxton. I'm not dealing with that guy anymore, and I'm not dealing with these Seattle bats right now. I might take a flyer on Toronto, frankly. Tigers, really? Athletics.
Yeah, that's just your hate of Paxton coming out, Jeff. Come on.
No, I'm serious. I mean, they're not playing well right now. Jackson against Zimmerman. Zimmerman, one of the worst trades that Detroit or baseball's ever seen. Against Edwin Jackson.
Was it actually a trade? Was it a trade or was he free?
Or no, whatever. It's whatever they signed or whatever. The worst transaction you'll ever see from a baseball team. You give him $100 million plus,
and then you say we can't afford Max Scherzer.
Oh my God, just a joke. Got to go Edwin Jackson here today, don't you? But
here's what I wanted. Here's what I want people to do out here with this game. Whether you bet it or not, it's a pretty fun game to have. If you want to have a drinking game tonight on the Oakland Athletics with Edwin Jackson, do not watch the game. Jeff, I know you have the MLB the MLB app that comes up and goes pitch by pitch, and you can see the at bat. I want you to drink every time Edwin Jackson pitches, and it says ball in the dirt. At least 3 times per plate appearance per person, it will be in the dirt. You will be hammered by the 3rd inning when Edwin Jackson has 3 innings pitched, 67 pitches out there, when a third of those pitches will say ball in the dirt. It's a pretty fun game. I don't trust Edwin Jackson. I won last time on Edwin Jackson. I don't know if I'm going to go back on him in this game, but just something fun to look forward to if you have nothing to do later today.
Donnie, I want to make a point to you, and I want to shout you out for this point. You said earlier about there are always those games that you bet on that you wish you would have, and then there's the ones that you were going to bet on you didn't.
Yes, correct. Yep.
How about this turn of events? Now, this is amazing. West Bromwich Albion, they're one of the favorites to win this league. They were in the Premier League last year. They went down. They are losing at home to Bolton Wanderers. Bolton Wanderers are one of the worst teams in the league. How about that? Bolton Wanderers from the depths. How about that?
Jeff, parlays are going to blow up.
Yes, they are. They are going to blow up because Bolton Wanderers, how about that? Amazing. Millwall's beating Middlesbrough. Amazing. How about that? You never know with the championship. There's a lot of tickets being blown up because West Brom today. We'll go through one more, Donnie, here, and then we'll give out a player or two that we like. Houston at the Dodgers. Great series here. Dodgers 140, total 8. McCullers against Kenta Maeda. Low-scoring game last night. Houston wins 2-1. How about this game, Donnie, if you had an over?
Yeah.
This game was 2-1 in the second inning. You're thinking, all right on par here. Perfect. They don't score a run the rest of the game. Amazing. What do you like here? It's a bit of a toss-up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a close one here because when you look at some of the season statistics, Jeff, it's not going to bear fruit if you're looking at the Houston Astros, especially at the plate. I mean, Jeff, a road weighted on base average of 341. Good luck betting against them in any environment. Even on the road, they rake. But when you're going to take, Correa out of the lineup, you're going to take, Altuve out of the lineup, you get what you get. A 2-1 victory last night. Both two good pitchers in there. Maeda's been pretty good last 30 days with a Sierra number, Jeff, of 299. And lefty-righty splits, they both hit each other that way. Both right-handed pitchers, 337 for the Dodgers and 324 for the Astros. But again, sometimes you have to take those glasses off there and say, well, a lot of really good key components are not there for the Houston Astros. If I'm looking at this game overall, probably going to lean. I was leaning towards the Dodgers last night, and they ended up losing 2-1. I'll lean towards the Dodgers again tonight, Jeff. I think I like them a little bit better overall lineup-wise than I do the Houston Astros.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I'm kind of on the same wavelength. I like the Dodgers as well. As far as for me, I kind of lean that way. What else did I like? I kind of like the Braves, frankly. I think the Braves keep playing well. I always like betting against the Mets. I think Gausman, the change of scenery, will help him a lot. I definitely like that one. I'm looking at Braves. I'm looking maybe at the Dodgers here, a little late night action. How about that, Donnie? Under the lights, Dodgers Astros. What could be better than that?
Yeah, little World Series rehash. Sometimes, Jeff, you wake up in the morning. I do things every once in a while where I say, you know what? Let me cap the games without the actual line of the game in my face to skew anything. I just want to see where the numbers actually line up. The 4 games that I do have circled today, Jeff, and again, this was without cap as oh, I can't believe you did that. Minnesota, I think, is a pretty good play. And most of the time, I'm looking towards first 5 innings because I don't want to deal with any bullpens. I just want to take the lineups in play, how they hit, how they pitch versus it. So I do like Minnesota in that situation. I like the Texas Rangers in their situation. I like the Tampa Bay Rays, and I also like the Arizona Diamondbacks are the games that I circled here to try to take a chance at. One of the teams, maybe an underdog, those Colorado Rockies. But again, if you're going to bet the Colorado Rockies, you better bet them first 5 because I don't know what the hell is that rebuilt, revamped bullpen can't have a lead and save a lead to save their life. They spent names coming in that bullpen in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th innings that should get guys out that don't get them out. But those are the 4 games that I'm looking at right now, pending some lineups, and some things can change. But if you're looking right now, I really like the Ranger game as it stands right now.
But by the way, Donnie, Colorado, they did spend $100 million.
That's what I mean. Yeah, get somebody out. Like you're supposed to be up 2-1, 3-2 in the 9th inning, 4-1 in the 7th. Get somebody out, man. That's your job. Dang.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
Too amazing. Donnie, we'll wrap it up here on the show. Maybe just with 1 or 2 other things. Anything else going on? We do have a lot of MLS today, and as you know, MLS has been fun. A couple plays to take a look out for. I think Atlanta United at home is a nice play against Toronto Football Club. Donnie, what about you? Any fringe sports you're looking forward to watching tonight?
Fringe sports? No, not really tonight. I don't really have. Is there any fringe sports I should be watching at this time other than baseball? It looks like a fringe sport. Maybe Tiger Woods. Maybe I can watch Tiger Woods.
I was going to bring that up. Golf.
Okay.
We look at the Bridgestone. Tiger continues to jump up the leaderboard, Donnie. He is at -6.
He's playing today. Okay. Is he? Did he already tee off today or no?
No, he's off at 105, Donnie. He needs to catch in the lead Justin Thomas at -11, Polte at -11. And Tommy Fleetwood playing well.
That's why I like that guy's game, man.
I'll tell you what, I took Jordan Spieth in this tournament. I thought he'd be really good. I mean, he has been awful. Jordan Spieth really poor in this tournament.
Yeah, after having the lead in the British Open, man, once he hit that wood out of the rough for no apparent reason, he fell apart. It looks like he's just still on a 2-week hangover bender there. But I like these tournaments are fun for me as a fan because you get like the top 50, 60, 70 players in the world. Like you have to either win or qualify for this tournament, not like, some random classic with 100 dudes in it when only like 10 matter. So it should be some good golf coming down the stretch Saturday and Sunday. And Jeff, again, it's more fun for me if Tiger Woods is close to the lead. So Tiger, go out there and have a day so everybody can get that energy after me on Sunday in my DMs and on Twitter. It's a lot more fun for me.
You know who I think will win this tournament, Donnie? Honestly,
Who?
I'm looking at Rory at -8.
He's a good player, man. Yeah.
He tees off at 135. Don't be surprised. He played pretty well in the British Open. I think Donnie, I'll tell you what, I've gotten into golf a little bit. It's pretty fun to bet on.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty fun to bet on. One or two other things here, Donnie. I wanted to bring up to you Manziel. He was absolutely atrocious last night.
Did we expect anything different?
Are we done with Manziel? I mean, can we move on from that, please? He stinks. Seriously. He stinks. He's never going back to the NFL. Give it the fuck up already, will you? Also, Donnie, we've never talked about this. I don't think we talked about it. We get the Hall of Fame stuff coming up today, Donnie. Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison's a Hall of Famer, right?
Yes, correct. Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about Marvin, during his time at Indianapolis, he didn't speak to many people, right?
No, didn't sign autographs, didn't speak to anybody, didn't want anything to do, didn't want any endorsements, didn't want anything to do with it.
Right.
Yes.
You heard his speech at the Hall of Fame. It was quite good, actually. He actually spoke. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Donnie, do you actually believe, does Marvin Harrison seem like one of the most evil individuals?
Yes.
Like, he seems so nice, but deep down, he's an evil gangster that has ties to the black mafia. He's a bad son of a bitch, isn't he? Marvin.
No, when you make, I'm sure he's probably made 50, 60, 70 million dollars in his career and a Hall of Famer, but he's the type of guy, Jeff, that let's just say you have a business, right? Like, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy 30 or 40 rental properties and I have a management company get behind it. We're out to do the dirty work, Jeff. He's the guy that knocks on your door in North or West Philadelphia and says, you didn't pay your rent this month.
I've heard stories about Marvin Harrison for people that I know personally that he literally is – he's that guy that literally lives kind of outside the hood, but he comes in every day, handles his business.
He has a couple bars, I believe he owns in the city.
Yeah, he had Playmakers for a while. But you watch the speech and it's like, how's this guy capable of anything? That's why. Yeah. It's really amazing how evil this guy is. But – when you come up like he does, you can't really avoid it. He's got a lot of, bad people in his family, but we'll wrap it up. Marvin Harrison, an interesting individual. I need a movie on Marvin Harrison, Donnie.
How he got out. Where'd he go? He went to Rome and then Syracuse?
Roman Catholic, Syracuse. Yeah. From North Philly, 25th and Thompson, I think. But he literally had that career, yet as established as one of the biggest drug dealers in North Philly. That's what I've heard. And he's connected to the black mafia. We need a movie on that, Donnie.
Yeah, he's making good money out there, I guess.
Yes. Everyone have a great night. Thanks for checking us out here. We appreciate it. We're off tomorrow. We'll be back Monday with another edition of The Right Side on Campus. I just tuned in. I thought this was a sports gambling show. Well, guess you should tune out then, huh? No, I'm only kidding. I'll go Braves today, Donnie. And you're leaning looking at that Colorado game. We'll see what you like. That should be interesting. Everyone have a great day. Thanks for listening. We'll see you Monday here on the show. Have a great night. Bye-bye.